Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I'm David Mathis. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. If you guys like the content on the channel, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it. Hit that little notification button because I am putting out regular content, okay? So today I want to talk about this idea of insulin resistance, right? And how you go about resetting your insulin sensitivity. Now, I think we all kind of know what insulin resistance is, right? That's when your body's not really able to uptake the glucose that you're giving it and being flushed into the cells, and it's just kind of hanging out in your bloodstream, right? This can be really troublesome. This can lead to heart issues. This can lead to type 2 diabetes. This can lead to a lot of negative effects in your body. How do we become insulin resistant? Well, we become insulin resistant a few ways. By being very sedentary, by being overweight, by not making smart food choices and just pounding our body with excessive amounts of calories overall, not just glucose, right? Not just carbohydrates, just excessive amount of calories overall, which in turn leads us to become overweight and obese. So these are a few of the ways that somebody can become insulin resistant, right? There is also the possibility that you are just genetically prone to it. In that case, then you need to be consulting your doctor. What I want to talk about, though, is some lifestyle factors and choices that you can make to try to help reset your insulin sensitivity if you do find yourself in this position of being insulin resistant. Now, what are some signs and symptoms of being insulin resistant? Thirst, hungry right away after you eat again, and you're not dieting. That's the key term. If you're dieting, then that's kind of normal, right? Lethargic. Nausea, stuff like that. Of course, these signs and symptoms can, mean a lot of other things, right? Those are kind of generic, but those are some things to think about. If you are overweight or obese, right? If you are sedentary a lot of the day, if you are pounding yourself with tons and tons of excessive calories and you're feeling this stuff, you might be insulin resistant, okay? So let's get to how we fix this. How do we get to fix this naturally without having to really go to a doctor or rely on medications? I don't know about you. I'm not a huge fan of medications, okay? I try to use as minimal amount as possible. I do understand that there are genetical things out there that do call for, the use of prescription medication, and it can be helpful for a lot of things. But I think a lot of times, if people would just start to concentrate on the two best doctors out there for us, food and movement, right? If we start focusing on that stuff a little bit more, I think that we could find that we will start healing ourselves without having to spend lots of money on medication and doctors and so forth. So let's go into the first thing that can really help you kind of improve this insulin resistance, right? Re-sensitize your muscles cells to the the glucose that you're uptaking into your body. So number one is just start moving. Okay, like I said before, most people I find that are overweight, they're also very sedentary, and they sit at desk jobs, and then they come home, and then they sit on the couch. Got to get up and move, guys. Our bodies are made to move, okay? We are not sedentary creatures. We need to get active. We need to give our body, a reason to uptake the glucose into our cells. So get up maybe 20, 30 minutes early in the morning. Go for a 20 or 30-minute walk, right? Park a little farther away at your work or the grocery store or the mall or wherever you're at. Park a little further away. Get up every hour and go for a 10-minute walk. Okay, these are just some things to kind of help get you moving a little bit. The next thing that you need to do is really just focus on losing weight overall. If you are somebody that regularly gets 8 to 10,000 steps a day, you weight train 4 or 5 days a week with relative intensity, right? And you're not in an excessive amount of calories, you don't really need to worry so much about being insulin resistant. Now, I'm talking about people that are overweight, sedentary, like I mentioned before. They just need to lose some weight, okay? So doing these walks, getting up and moving, like I said, trying to get 30, 40 minutes of walking in a day. Just try going to the gym and start resistance training 2 or 3 days a week. These little movements are going to pay off big time in the long run. They are going to add up. If you want your muscle cells to take in the glucose that you're giving it, you need to give it a reason to. And nothing is better than getting in there in resistance training and just moving your body in general, okay? So that would be the second tip I would give you, is just focus on losing weight. if you get to losing about 10% even of your total body weight, if you're obese, around 20%, you're going to see drastic improvements in your health markers just by losing the weight, not by taking any medication, not by doing any of that, just by getting up, moving around, losing that excess weight, okay? The third thing is that you can do is you can try to prioritize your carbohydrates around your workout time. This is what we call peri-workout nutrition. I recommend to people usually to have 4 to 5 meals a day that evenly spreads out your protein, right? But if you want to take those 2 meals around your workout time, pre and post, and put about 25 to 30% of your daily carbohydrate intake around those times, this might help increase your body's sensitization to taking up the glucose in your cell, right? Because you're taking in the carbohydrates beforehand, so it's going to provide you some energy to go ahead and train hard, put in the time in the gym that I'm talking about, and get that movement in. Work your muscles, give them a reason for the cells to uptake that glucose. And then when you get out, your metabolic rate is still high, right? It's still active. So then you put another 25 to 30% of your carbohydrate intake afterwards, and your body's ready to soak up those nutrients, right? Your body's like a sponge at that point. So the glucose isn't going to be just floating around in your bloodstream causing all these other health issues that I mentioned before. Your cells are like, come here, glucose, right? So they are wanting to take that glucose in. So you're just gonna have better utilization of the nutrients that you're taking in if you kind of do this peri-workout nutrition strategy, right? So those are just a few of the ways that you might go about helping reset your insulin sensitivity without having to do any medication, going to see a doctor. Give this, 6 to 8 weeks and see how you're feeling. See if you're noticing any difference. See if your lethargy is going away, right? Are you more energized? Are you more active? Are you noticing some weight loss? Are you noticing some, inches coming off of your waist? Overall, is your mood better? After you eat a meal, are you less tired? Things like this. These are signs that show you that your body is becoming more sensitive to the insulin that you're taking in, to the glucose you're taking in, right? So you are starting to move away from that insulin resistance phase into more of an insulin sensitive phase, which is what we want if we want to, refuel our muscle cells, if we want to start growing, getting stronger, getting bigger in the gym, things like that. So hopefully this helps you guys a little bit, give you some ideas about how to kind of get yourself out of that insulin resistant mode that you might be in without having to spend lots of money and going to the doctor. Because guys, honestly, the 2 best doctors we have in our life, and I said it earlier in the video, is our nutrition and our movement. Eat right, fuel your body for the movement that it wants to do. So hopefully this helps you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm David Mathas. You can find me at mathasfitness on Instagram, MATHAS fitness. I have a website, www.coachdavidmathas.com. And if you're looking for coaching, please reach out to me, david@biolane.com. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back with another video soon.